welcome to Acacia Cat, and today we're going to be talking about future concepts for future Plants vs. Zombies games. Like these are ideas I've come up with for Plants vs. Zombies games that could release in the future. And the background gameplay is going to be the HD version of the original Plants vs. Zombies, if you kind of can't tell because it looks better than the normal original Plants vs. Zombies, which I've also played on this channel. The Plants vs. Zombies, the original one, has been ported to so many devices. There's actually different versions of the backgrounds. For example, this one right here. So this is the HD version of it. If you watch some of my older videos, you can see like the normal version of it, and also the DS version has a pixelated version of the same background, which is kind of funny. So there's actually 3 versions of every background in Plants vs. Zombies. Yes, including the Night Roof, which is actually a thing in Plants vs. Zombies, because that's 5-10. Yeah. But yeah, anyway. So today we're going to be talking about 3 concepts I have for Plants vs. Zombies games. So before we do that, we have to kind of discuss the Plants vs. Zombies timeline. Well, it's theorized, but it fit to follow the games. So basically the idea is because of time travel in PvZ2, the entire franchise gets. The timeline really isn't based about how Time Order is. It's more based on where Crazy Dave is in the timeline. So it starts with Plants vs. Zombies Adventures, which is a Facebook game, which I actually played on my mom's Facebook account when I was really young. But yeah. So like, I have played a little bit of it, but I was like, if that makes sense, but still. It will go first because there's actually people alive in Plants vs. Zombies 1, which is barely anyone alive at that point. Then Plants vs. Zombies 2, the tutorial Plants vs. Zombies 2 would be the beginning of the timeline, while the tutorial Plants vs. Zombies 2 being this first timeline, the one we're talking about. Well, during all the time travel, which also the Chinese version would fit in perfectly too, because they kind of fit in together, the original American version of Plants vs. Zombies 2. They would both happen at the same time, or in between time, when eventually the time meddling a new universe gets created, or Garden Warfare 1 happens, and then Garden Warfare 2, but at the same time as Garden Warfare 2, Crazy Dave is stuck in the Plants vs. Zombies Heroes timeline, and that was the kind of idea of the theory, but there's also 2 new games out. Plants vs. Zombies 3, well, that's in the soft launch right now, but it'll be released to everyone soon, or is already released, I'm not sure, depending on when you're watching this video. I would say happens in the Heroes timeline, and Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville either happens in the Garden Warfare timeline or the Heroes timeline, but still, if that makes sense. And most of the game ideas here are going to be for the original timeline, just because that's the timeline I think needs to be more touched on, if that makes sense, because it's where the original game is, and yeah. So now you know that, I can finally start talking about the different timelines and stuff, like 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the video, before we even talked about that concepts. So, the first concept is Plants vs. Zombies 4. Now, I think of the Plants vs. Zombies franchise is it's both a casual and competitive franchise. Most of the mobile tower defense games are casual, while the shooter FPS games in the franchise, the third-person shooters, but still, are competitive. Well, the original is the only game that's both casual and competitive, and on every device that the game franchise has been games on, which is sad. Because there is some people who play who are competitive gamers, but they want to play the tower defense games, but because they're just too casual, they just don't like them, and so all they really do is play the original, or they play mods of the original, or some of them have even found ways to play Plants vs. Zombies 2 on computers, but still, if you kind of understand what I mean. So, yeah. So Plants vs. Zombies 4, the concept of this game will try to be a more competitive approach to the tower defense Plants vs. Zombies games to get a certain audience. However, because of doing this, and the casual audience probably won't really have a game if this was developed. So the idea is Plants vs. Zombies 3 would still be developed, but Plants vs. Zombies 4, the idea of it and the purchase method of it will be $5 or however amount of cash to buy the game file, even on mobile. And it also could be on Switch and on consoles as well. Or you pay $5 and then you get the entire game, but there will be no pretty things in it, because please just do this. Yeah, you're already losing your reputation, and yeah. But yeah, so the idea behind this is this. So this will take place in the original timeline before Plants vs. Zombies Adventures, so it'll be the first game ever in the timeline, if that makes sense, where your character is actually not Crazy Dave, like Plants vs. Zombies 1, which the theory is that Crazy Dave is actually who you're playing as in Plants vs. Zombies 1, but still. The idea behind, Plants vs. Zombies 4 will be, it'll be played like the original, so the gameplay, like the main level design will be like imagine it's Plants vs. Zombies 2's level design, or than 1's, but it was off the Plants vs. Zombies 2, which is why it's Plants vs. Zombies 2's level design. Although the actual locations will be designed more like PVZ1, there'll be plant food. So how Plant Zombies 1 works is, you get collect sun from sunflowers or other sun-producing plants, which would be how you get sun in this game. Plant Zombies 4, and unlike Plant Zombies 3, which is how it works, is you just get sun over time. You would actually have to build up a sun-producing plants, because, it makes the game a little bit more competitive. However, after every wave, you will get tacos, which is a feature from Plant Zombies 3, which means to buff or promote your plants that you have out. So yeah, that would be a thing probably over from PvZ3, on top of all tons of plants. And on the mobile and mobile version of the game, you can actually put the screen in the you can actually have the screen in both horizontal and vertical mode, while the rest of the devices can only be in the mode that they're normally on. So you can't play it one-handed on phones, which is probably the reason why. Also, the game will be a 3D game like Plant Zombies 3. However, it would have the art style PvZ 1 and 2, because a lot of people don't like the 3D art style, PvZ3's art style. And then, anyway, so alright, so I've kind of talked about how the level design works. You get tacos every way, but instead of the game pausing, you would, actually you could just use tacos during the after you get them after you beat a wave. But another thing to mention would be you can move plants in this game with some sun, and it costs more and more sun the more and more plants you move. So that's how moving plants around would work in this game. Also, the levels would be around 6 to 10 waves long. Reason why they'll be long levels is competitive people like me kind of prefer longer level-based matches. And it fits with the other gameplay I'll talk about later too. So, what I mean by longer matches is that, it would kind of be like a multiple different levels strung together, but you keep your plants throughout it. So it's kind of like the endless mode in PvZ 1. But there is an end to it. So the first all the waves are normal waves until the last wave, which instead of having normal zombies will be like a boss level. Or the last wave is a boss wave where you have to be a boss instead of killing all the zombies. So that's how this mode would work. And the bosses slowly get tougher and tougher over time. And also, the last thing to mention, so how the game would actually play for this game would be that, of course, you have your tutorial level, but then you'll be introduced to a few different characters, and depending on and you get to make choices throughout the game. So, what plant do you pick after you beat a level? You can choose between two plants. Which one do you pick? Or you can help only one person. There's two people needing your help, and if you choose one of them, you're gonna have a different ending than the other one. So this game may take 3-ish hours to beat, but there's going to be around 16 different endings, on top of minor differences of different plants and stuff. So So depending on your characters you bond with and which characters die in the game, could determine what ending you get. Of 16, there'll be 6 different characters or so. On top of you and Crazy Dave, there'll be 4 other characters that you quest for. And also, depending on what characters, you see you help, say a farmer dude. You go to his farm and help defend it for, all those long levels I mentioned, that's how the main game works. And yes, you can actually gain plants in the level, too, and switch your plants out every level, every 1 or 2 waves. It'll be a pause wave, which you could, on top of, do whatever you normally would do in the game, you could actually switch your plants out in pause waves, and move stuff for free, and promote stuff with tacos, clearly, but still. But yeah, anyway. So how this mode would work is, and so, when if you help him, let's just say, the other person gets overwhelmed, and you can either help them, or, you gotta get what I mean, right? So, if you try helping one person too much, some other character could die or something like that. But that character also gets more trust for you, and you get much better stuff to help defend your own house. So yeah, and that's how this game would work. So yeah, defending your own house. So yeah, you get better plants. Let's say you help the farmer out, like I mentioned before. You would get completely different plants if you helped out, say, the florist out, because you can earn completely different plants from doing that. And I think, honestly, plant levels wouldn't be a thing in this game, due to the fact that you wouldn't be an endless style game like PvZ3, because this game is you have around 3 to 5 hours of gameplay. You have around 1 to 5 hours of gameplay in this game, around an average of 3 hours, before you complete the game, and then you have to completely replay the game. But you can completely replay the game with completely different outcomes, which is the whole replayability factor. And there'll be so many different endings and so many different plans that people can unlock. Like, there could be a secret golden pea shooter in the game if you, say, beat the game like always 3 times through. You could get a golden pea shooter or something from doing something in game. So there'll be a lot of different secret things and stuff. And yeah, and that's just one of my game concepts. But yeah. And what do you guys think of that one game concept? So, I was also planning on doing some other game concepts, so let's do that now. Second one will be Plants vs. Zombies Last Stand. Well, this is, but yeah, I was planning on doing another more concepts, but I didn't have enough time. But yeah, Plants vs. Zombies Last Stand will be a 3D tower defense game. So, the idea is you actually have a character in the inventory. So the idea is you'd actually have to grow plants over time and to defend your house. So what I mean is the game's completely 3D. It'll be kind of like the Garden Warfare design-wise, where you're a human, and this game takes place after Plants vs. Zombies 2 in the original timeline. So the idea is you're trying to defend your house. You're on like an island, but it's a big island, so you have like you're on 5 different cities in it that you can go to. And the map is going to be different every time you play, and you can change the map out. Of course, you're going to be raiding houses and shops for plants and weapons. And yeah. So it's a 3D game, and the idea is you're trying to survive as long as you can, and the progression is kind of determined by how good your base can get. But yeah, this will be a 3D game. You're the last one left, but you can play multiplayer with friends that you can invite over with, and they can bring their stuff over. So like characters and worlds, I don't know, but you can have friends join you and stuff, like kind of like Minecraft or Terraria would work. But yeah, this game would also be interesting because you're building up a base to try to survive zombies, and you have around a day in game, which is like half an hour in game, to prepare your base against zombies. And after the first day and night cycle, you get the zombies that start spawning. So yeah, there will be building and stuff in this game. It'll be pretty interesting. But yeah. So I don't know. I covered more PvZ4 than this Plants vs. Zombies Last Stand, but I honestly think, Plants vs. Zombies Last Stand would be cool too, but I just haven't got enough chance in the video to talk about because we're already 12 minutes and we have like 15 minutes of a film. But still, Plants vs. Zombies Last Stand would be an interesting game idea too, because the plants from all the different Plants vs. Zombies games could show up in this one, besides ones that are primary base. Actually, they could show up too because of rifts in time and stuff. So yeah, this game will be pretty interesting. And the end of the game, like there could be, I don't know, if you play long enough, for like, I don't know, like if you say if it's been played for like at least like a few, I don't know how it could end, but maybe the world completely gets destroyed by rifts and stuff from PvZ2 at the very end of this game. But actually, that would be cool though for endless games. So I'm not sure how that would work. But yeah, I also had an idea for a Plants vs. Zombies AR game too. But I don't think I have enough time because that would also be complicated. So I'll maybe make a second video that would talk about that at some point. I'm not sure though. But yeah. But the AR game kind of be, I don't know, I have some concepts for that too, but I don't have enough time. I was planning on putting that in this. But yeah, Plants vs. Zombies Last Stand happened in the original timeline after PvZ2's tutorial, while Plants vs. Zombies 4 would happen before Plants vs. Zombies Adventures. Or we could even replace it in the timeline. But yeah, I honestly think those two games would be kind of interesting, but I'm kind of stalling to try to get the rest of the clip in, but yeah. Well, and this is the end of the video. Remember to like and subscribe to Cajun Cat on YouTube. And before I end the video off completely, I'll let you watch the rest of this gameplay. So yeah. And I hope you guys like my 2 Plants vs. Zombies game concepts. I really like this franchise, though. I really wish I would have some more competitive tower defense games in it. But still, the shooter games are good. The mobile games are starting to get slowly worse in quality, in my opinion. Though they could be better. But yeah, this is the end of the video. Remember to like and subscribe to Cajun Cat on YouTube. And peace, and I hope you guys like this video. And yeah, please subscribe if you need more subscribers. And also join my Discord server, and peace.